The children in our country are being made to be the victim of a situation they are not involved, and then sent to a foster home where they again are reintroduced to trauma of being the odd ball. Our courts are contaminated with young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem. George Washington never thought of children as pawn in the game of freedom and American values, and never had he wanted to sell them. They were from his maker, his creator. Our children are being run down for no other reason than the profits being made in some way. Somehow these government agencies make money hand over fist day in and day out. They have you go to classes that they are billing for, and there is no viable reason for you to attend. Yet when you hear an update, CPS tells you that you're further away from when you started. Reunification is your goal, not theirs. And after you go through 12+ months of grueling, painstaking classes and meetings, all while getting the slimmest amount of time to visit your child, and even worst, you are always supervised. Never alone again with your child. It's awful. How do they feel, do you think?
Where's the outrage? Why is nobody standing up for these families being torn apart by CPS?
Please don't tell me you're going to put all your bets on this superhero. You grown-ups are supposed to be coming to his rescue. Stop ignoring this problem. There is nothing more I can say to any of you. Please fight CPS and help those who have lost so much they can help themselves.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPS.com is leading the way. Join us.
They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with that out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division is what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem. Stealing our kids, it's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again. CPS comes along with the mission to protect. The only thing they are doing is cashing in those checks, paid for by the souls of the children, diagnosed by a caseworker who is still a baby herself. They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with dad out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great.
Well, maybe if I can get myself out here on the screen. This thing is being a butt this morning. There we go. Good morning, everyone. This is CPS Victims Hunting Justice with Vinny. Need to get my name changed up there because it says Punisher and I'm not Darren. So I want to get this out there to you guys. So this morning I received a message from my soon-to-be ex-attorney stating that a hearing is for the motion to withdraw has been set for 1:31 at 1 p.m. So he does continue to plan on removing himself, which I am glad that this idiot is removing himself from my case. He has called everything that I have said frivolous. My motions, everything I have done, even me reporting the DA and the judge to the bar, called that frivolous as well. I'm tired of this dude trying to tell me what my rights are, what my rights aren't. Obviously, he doesn't do a good job. I want to read to you guys something that he did say to me the other day. And he put it in aspects, and I want to get some information from what you guys think of this, because I find this to be correct, that he's calling me frivolous, but in the email that he sent me, obviously it's not frivolous of what I'm trying to do. He said, my position has always been that the strength of your case is the unreliability. Unreliability. Right now, there is no proof of where the 1,000 pages of Facebook messages came from. The other person involved's motivation and consistencies are the excellent attack point. And ultimately, if that person would ever show up at court to testify at trial, is another strong point, which tells me that one, there's no proof of any of the messages that they're trying to use on me as evidence. Two, that if I were to have a decent enough attorney to attack her credibility, it would be shot, which means she would either break out into a hysteria, or they would deem it a mistrial, or I could win. You know, this has gone on long enough. This guy has not done anything to help me in any way. We have had a private PI on payroll for 2.5 months now. He has not used him. We had a specialist to review the Meta Facebook data on standby, and he hasn't used him either. He hasn't really done anything with this case other than to get me out of jail, and that was it. That is all he has done for me. And I'm about to speak up against him. with the bar associates. I put in a complaint. I have all the emails of what I've sent to him, what I've said, what I've shared, and the things that he has not done. And I'm tired of sitting here in a house when I am innocent. There is no proof of anything across the board. Yet I am stuck to a house. I'm taken away from my children. My children are taken. And it's all because CPS wants to use my juvenile record against me. Mind you, my juvenile record has been sealed for over 25 years. And they're trying to bring up stuff that happened in my childhood as grounds for them to take my children. Tell me where that lies and where they have that right. They don't. I have had a clean record for 20 years. 20 years clean record. Nothing on my record. Not a goddamn thing. But yet this is being held over my head. I am being judged for something that happened in my childhood twice. There's something wrong with this picture, and there's something wrong with these fucking judges. There's something wrong with these fucking guardian ad litems. There's something wrong with these fucking CPS workers to think, or even have an inkling think, that I am like that. I stand before all of you on this platform every day. I share my case, and I've been sharing my case this whole entire time. I've been convicted of some not convicted, I've been indicted on some very serious crimes. Yet they have no evidence of this crime. Where's your fucking evidence, DA? Where's your fucking evidence, judge? Where's your fucking evidence, you pieces of shit, CPS? You have none. You have a document that was forged. That is what we call, what, everybody? Fraudulent documentation. That is fraud upon a court. I'm tired of people judging me because they seen a news post on the news about me. I'm tired of people looking down on me as I'm a criminal. I am not a criminal. I am a father who is fighting for his fucking kids. And to be so defiled and so defamated by everyone involved in this case, I'm coming for you. I am coming for you. Anyone that ever doubted me, or anyone that ever said, oh, look at him, he's this, I will find you and I will sue you. I'm coming for CPS. I'm coming for the DA. I'm coming for the AGA. I'm coming for the guardian ad litem and the judges. I'm going to take their goddamn bonds away from them. I'm coming for all of them. I have proof of fraud upon my case. I have proof of police brutality. I have proof of how they treated me while I was in jail. I have proof of what this DA is up to with this AG. I'm coming for all of them. I have proof of kidnapping without a court order or warrant. Right. I am. I'm clarifying that right now. I am suing them. I am coming after everything that they've ever put against me. I am going for in court. I'm going to bring this to a federal level, one way or another. They have violated my constitutional rights over and over and over again. Due process of law, inadequate service, all the way down the line, people. And they do this to us. You guys need to start looking at your preliminary plan that they give you, okay? You need to see what it says in through that whole preliminary plan. You need to read it word for word. Highlight it. Any mistakes, highlight them. Anything that you are not seeing, highlight so you know, so you can go back, make mental notes and write them down. Same if you're served a TPR, when you look through that TPR, read it word for word. Highlight the inconsistencies in your entire case. And then write it down, type it out, whatever, and start using that as your vantage point. There is lots of inconsistencies in my entire case. Very much so. From the time they arrested me to the time I got out. Hey, Gil, you have evidence too? Yeah. Yeah, that's what we all need to do. We all need to sue them. We need to start getting lawsuits together. We need to start putting and piecing everything together and start going after them. Whether you go after their bond, whether you go after I know another person that is going after not just their bond, but she's going after much more than that, Gil. Um and I've seen some of her case. She's shown me. Um and wow, she's got one hell of a case against them. And this is right here in Maine itself. But these people are getting away with kidnapping, falsifying documents, falsifying records, bringing in your records that are over 20 to 25 years old. You need to read your documents because they're bringing in stuff that's outdated into your court case. Anytime a CPS worker has been called to your house, they're putting that in your case. That's what they're doing to us as parents. They're putting in anything that we've ever done. They've put in any reports from CPS or to CPS in the case logs. They're doing all this as their evidence. How is that evidence? You can't use something that's old. I'm sorry, but after 20 to 25 years, that's wrong. They tried to do it with my sister. They tried to bring up that my sister had given over custody of her daughter to my parents. No, she gave them guardianship because my sister's husband at the time was a dick, straight up abusive, mentally, physically, emotionally towards this girl. So my sister protected her and gave her to my parents to take care of. But she still lived in the same house. He did not. He got thrown out of here. She divorced him, and that's been past 20 years now. And they're trying to say because she gave up her rights when she didn't, that she can't have my daughter. Excuse me? My sister works a full-time job. So doesn't her husband. She owns her house. She owns her car. She works damn hard for what she got, and she takes care of my oldest niece, my younger niece, and my nephew. She's a damn good mother, and she has these kids to know right from wrong. And she expects great things from her kids. Her kids all have good grades. Why? Because she makes them do their homework. The cops were never involved when they took your daughter. See, now there's a problem. An officer is supposed to be there if they got a court order or warrant to take a child. That sounds a little fishy. At least last I knew, because When they showed up at where we were staying, we had just moved to, I told them to leave and I shut the door. And they were still outside waiting for my wife to come out. My wife opened the door and she said, "Hi, yes, I'm from CPS." And I told my wife, I said, "Listen, I told you not to let them in. We have a constitutional right. We don't have to let them in. They don't have a court order." I asked them if they did. No court order, no warrant, no entry. That's simple. But they still entered, and they had a detective with them. And this detective was watching me like a hawk. Mind you, I was outside, out back working on my ATV because it wouldn't start. So I was trying to figure out problems to get it moved. And he was watching me the entire time work on my ATV. The entire time. They separated her from me. They knew what they were doing. They knew that if they coerced her into signing that safety plan, that was their contract. And that's exactly what they did. They coerced her and threatened her with having the cop there after they made me leave. They made me leave where I was staying. It wasn't our place. The homeowner was not home. They entered a house that didn't belong to us. Figure that one out. They get away with violating rights on a daily. And these are not just regular state constitution rights. These are US rights as well. And it's time that we go after them the proper way. We take them right to the courts, the way they do us, but we take them to the higher courts, where Constitution does reign supreme. They do. They make a shit ton of money off our children. When I just checked the other day, it said they make anywhere from the initial time they take your kids and they have them in their custody, anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 in between. And these foster parents are making bank too. $2,500 a week, if not more. And that is facts. You can check it. I have looked into it. I have been investigating that part, and they make lots of money, believe it or not. Darren's monitoring me because he knows how angry I am. I'm very angry. This attorney has screwed my entire criminal case and prolonged my case. And I'm not impressed by what he has done to me. To keep me confined to a house, I was working full time. I had a full time job. I was working in the community. I my bosses all loved me. I did a lot of cleaning, extra, everything. I even got us ready for our inspection. And it was bad in where I worked. It was bad. The floors were bad, the walls were bad, and I did all of that cleaning. I cleaned even the broilers that I used. I cleaned the friolators that I used. I cleaned everything and got us ready for our inspection. And it was a corporate inspection, our big bosses. But yet I lost my job because I was arrested at my job. Arrested at work. Why these cops sat in the same place that I worked before I came in and ate, then went out across the parking lot and sat in their vehicles until they knew I was coming into work. And that is on film. I have that proof on my phone in my discovery. They were tipped off and knew my schedule. While there's only one person that knew my entire schedule. One. And that was the person that told me to report my schedule to him. Yeah, there we go. Yep. 1.5 million per child. Went and said is done. So do the math on that. The 1.5 million. So Darren, what would they be getting per month if that adds up to 1.5? There must be a way to figure out the number. This is my last cigarette. That's how stressed I am. I went through my last pack of cigarettes. Depending on the program and level of risk and the child, etc. Okay. Well, how about for a child that might have some emotional problems, emotional, physical, depression, anxiety, take that into account. And they have her on psychotropic drugs. Thank you, Gil. Yeah, it's been a battle. It really has. It's been a big battle. And the funny part is that, you know, he says I have a great case. Well, if I have a great case, then why aren't you filing this motion for dismissal? They have no evidence. They have no corroborating anything. That this should be dismissed. So now I think the bigger thing is, do I attack them from the court that did the indictment on me, or do I file the motion for dismissal? That is the question. Because if I challenge the indictment and I can prove that they have no findings of this corroborating text messages, which can be proved, then this whole case would be dismissed by a Supreme Court for challenging their ruling. Because this ruling was done without giving me notice, and it states that I'm supposed to have 24 to 48 hours notice, and that attorney is supposed to be signed during an indictment. Well, my attorney wasn't assigned until way after. So I feel that that is a direct violation of constitutional rights and due process. There was none of due process followed by even their Supreme Court here in Portland. This is a major violation. And Darren, you can look it up. It states right in the statute codes that they're supposed to provide you an attorney during an indictment, and they're supposed to notify you within 24 to 48 hours that you have been indicted. And they don't. I think they're trying to work on that, Gil. I'm not too sure. Um, we saw a revised of Title 4E funding that was put through. So I don't think so, because they're still getting funding. They never stopped the funding. And even though a lot of people said they did, no, they have not. That's a lie, because we proved that on the show. Darren looked it up and showed everyone. Title 4E funding is still there. They are still giving it. So you gotta go to school. Well, you have a good day at school. Oh, I am. I'm pushing to find what I can do. We're working on a couple things. I think that this attorney has really screwed me, to be honest. And I'm seeing that with everything that has been set in motion from day one. The same with the CPS side. I'm fighting that as well. So, you guys, you can't give up. You got to dig in. It is time that we as parents speak up. We cannot let them silence us. We cannot let them take our rights away. We cannot let them take our rights to the Constitution away. We were guaranteed the rights of the Constitution, guaranteed as citizens of the US. Our due process is our due process. We the people. It doesn't say we the government, it says we the people. There's a reason why it says we the people. Because we the people are supposed to delegate the legislative body and vote who we want in office and who we do not want in office. We are supposed to be able to vote on these rules and these laws. Well, where do you see these rules and laws being voted on by we the people? They're being passed by government. So we need to find where we gave full access to the government to make all laws. That's what we really need to look into. What year did that happen? Why did it happen? I really think we need to go back to the people. We the people need to delegate to Washington what laws we see fit and have a voice on that. We need to start putting in the petitions of what laws should be in place and what laws should not be in place. I really think and highly believe that. Because you got families out here that are the fathers or the mothers are sitting in jail because CPS had them arrested on falsified charges. Some of them are true charges. We don't know. I ain't here to judge no one. Okay, I have my faults as a parent, but we all do. Yeah. See, there it is. What's it say? Can't even see it. What does it say, Darren? Who's here with us? Oh, that's just Darren.
Vinny, can you hear me now?
Yep, I can. What does that
Okay.
all say?
Well, what it says is this. It says, an indictment formally charges a person with a crime. During an indictment proceeding, a grand jury determines if there is adequate basis for bringing criminal charges against a suspected criminal actor. An indictment is one of the two options a prosecutor has to formally charge a person with a criminal offense. Indictment issued by a grand jury, criminal complaint filed directly to the court. In this case, the prosecutor does not need to get an indictment from a grand jury. The indictment enables the prosecution of a suspect for the offenses charged. An indictment is a constitutional guarantee that nobody can face a criminal trial without being previously notified of the alleged criminal offenses. Each state statute determines the indictment proceeding. Generally, the prosecutor will present evidence to a grand jury during an indictment proceeding. After the prosecutor has presented the evidence, the grand jury must decide whether there is enough adequate basis for bringing criminal charges against the suspect and therefore issue an indictment against them. The criminal charges, evidence, witnesses, and deliberations are sealed and are not available to the public. Says each state also establishes the content of the indictment. Suspect's identity, unless the suspect identity is unknown. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they have to let you there or not, Vinny. It must be a state thing, maybe.
I think it was a state thing when I looked it up.
All right, yeah. I think the whole idea of the indictment is to bring the charges forth to you and make you know that you are being charged.
Hold on, I'll look it up real quick because I did find it. Right here. It says in Maine, the state can appeal pretrial dismissal of an indictment to the Supreme Judicial Court. This is possible if the dismissal has reasonable likelihood of serious impairing or ending the prosecution. Title 15811 covers waiver of indictment petitions and information. Title 2115 covers appeals by the state in criminal cases, including pretrial dismissal of indictment. Title 17A9 covers indictment and jurisdiction, including that of proceedings of Class A, B, and C. Crimes must be prosecuted by indictment. The state can appeal a pretrial dismissal if the dismissal prevents the prosecution from obtaining evidence or suppressing evidence. The state can appeal a pretrial dismissal if the dismissal has reasonable likelihood of serious impairing or ending of the prosecution. That was for the overturn. But let me find the other piece that I was looking on. Right here.
Yeah, I'm looking too, my friend. I'm not seeing anything though that's saying that talks about that.
No person shall be held to answer in any court for any alleged offense, unless in an indictment found by a grand jury, except for contempt of court and in the following cases: using or charging instrument other than an indictment. When a prosecution utilizes or charges instrument of order that an indictment is expressly authorized by the rule of the court. Where's that fucking thing that I found the other day?
Well, basically, what were you saying that they found that it's the indictment says that you can that you have the chance to be there to defend yourself?
Yes. Yeah.
Because the next step from here is the arraignment.
Right.
Arrest warrant and arraignment. And I mean, I can see where that would be important, just like the same when you get substantiated in child welfare cases. I think that you should have the right to be at the substantiation also, but you don't, you know? As far as I know, because I wasn't held available. Okay.
I'm looking it up right now to find it. Okay, right here. I just found it.
Okay.
Yeah. A defendant in May must be notified of an indictment at arraignment hearing. The defendant will receive a copy of the indictment. I've never received a copy of the indictment. A grand jury in Maine issues an indictment after determining there is enough evidence to charge a defendant with a crime. The defendant is notified of the indictment at the arraignment hearing. At the arraignment hearing, the defendant is read the indictment, asked to enter a plea, and may be appointed an attorney if they can't afford one. The arraignment usually takes place within a few days of indictment. It never took a few days. The indictment, I guess the indictment came down, and then it was months later before they even arrested me. Months.
So, yeah, that's the proceedings. But the indictment is the jury of your appeals, and they say that if they have and actually, what the indictment really is they call it a true bill, which means that the state can now, for your SESTA-Q number and so on, and they can now open and bill for your time and everything else. So that's why it's called a true bill, because now it's the time for the state to open up your SESTA-Q number and start billing you for each one of those things.
But my problem is that if they don't have proof of proof by the Facebook messages, then why is there an indictment? How did they get this proof?
Because at the time they did have that stuff. And an indictment only goes by a preponderance amount of evidence. Or maybe, what does it? Hold on.
There's got to be a catch-22 in there somewhere. There has to be. Something seems very odd about that. And the fact that this entire case hasn't sat well with me the entire time.
I told you.
There's got to be some information into it. I would assume.
Well, that would be to come. We can look that up. We'll do some digging into the indictment stuff.
There's got to be something in that because it said that I could challenge it. I sent it to Kim, and Kim saw it too. So, I must have it somewhere that you can challenge the indictment.
I'm sure you can too. I'm sure that you can too.
Let me look back through this real quick because I know I had it, and I sent it to Kim so she could see what it said too. Right here. Yes, you are supposed to be informed of an indictment notification. You will be notified of an indictment by either an arrest by federal agents or by a notification to your counsel arraignment. After an indictment, you will have an arraignment where a judge will inform you of the charges and will enter a plea for a defendant in custody. Arraignment usually happens within 24 to 48 hours of indictment. This never happened. Like I said, it was 3 to 4 months down the road before they arrested me. That informed person that you are believed to have committed a crime and contains the basic information about the charge against the indictment process at first step in a criminal case. In a federal system, after the indictment, the case must go to trial within 70 days unless you waive your speedy trial rights, which I never have. The Sixth Amendment guarantees the accused a right to be informed of the nature, cause of whatever it is. Therefore, the indictment must have enough information to inform the defendant of both nature and cause of the crime charged. I knew I would find it. Hey, Jamie.
Defendant may move for a bill of particulars before. Okay.
Did you find something useful? I hope.
Okay, unless an additional or different offense is charged or a substantial right of the defendants is prejudiced, the court may permit an information to be amended at any time before the verdict or finding. Let me go home and read a little bit.
So that it can be overturned.
I don't know if it can be overturned or not.
How are you doing today, Jamie? Yeah. I'm glad I found it too, Herbert. I knew I had it. But it also states that on the main.gov website,
Of course you can.
it does state that you have a right to file a grievance against any parties involved in your case if you feel that they're not doing their jobs or not following by statute or law. I did find that. That was within my power of what I did. I filed a complaint. And I honestly feel that, my attorney in the criminal process has in fact been inspiring with this other party. And all I need to do is prove that he was. So maybe a request of his phone records would find that.
Maybe.
But I'm sure the bar is going to look into it because the complaint was already been filed. At least I hope they'll look into it.
Right. Interesting stuff, Vinny.
Yeah. But guys, I wanted to come on and do a show to just say that this is going to be the start to a show in the morning. Who knows? Tomorrow brings in a new day. There's supposed to be a meeting with the two CPS workers to go over the finalization of our motion that we are serving, and in that process, who knows? It could be a dramatic change because whatever happens in the CPS case affects the criminal case and vice versa. So keeping that in mind, if we're able to get everything on that side thrown out, that affects the criminal case very much so. But I'm also going to look into the private investigator and have my CPS attorney get him rolling.
Oh, yeah.
Since Steven doesn't want to do it, then it leaves me up to doing it.
Herbert, she can read. She knows your name is Herbert. That's why it says your name above your name.
Yeah, she can see your name in there, Herbert. We all can. It says Herbert Petty.
Hello, Herbert. That's your name, is Herbert, right? Herbert?
Herberto.
Jesus, Herbert.
It's Herberto.
Herberto. This is him right here, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, the police expert. Yeah.
Here he is.
There he is. There's Herbert, everybody.
Herbert's always around. Getting her done.
Doing investigating of his own.
Yep. I don't know what English word that was. But all right. Well, I'm going to get out of here, Vinny.
Yeah, I'm going to get out of here too. I just wanted to come on and share a little bit and let you guys know that I'm going to try to keep it probably Thursdays if I can, because Wednesday is kind of hard with counseling and everything else going on that day. So yeah, I think Thursday will work for me a little bit.
All right. I'll put you on the schedule, buddy.
All right. Sounds good. Hope you guys have a good day. Remember, check out the rest of the shows this afternoon. We got Tip and the Punisher.
No, we've already done Tip and the Punisher. Oh, no, we haven't. Jesus almighty. What am I thinking? Wow. Holy smokes. Woo.
And then I think we have in between Tip and Punisher, we have Turn the Page with Kim.
Yeah, we also have Danielle's tonight, right? Is Danielle going tonight?
I think so. I thought
covering unmasking foster care. Yeah, we'll turn the page. Hey, I got a new song done. You want to hear it on your exit?
Yeah. You can play it as we exit.
All right, dude. Tell me when to cue it.
Cue it up, man.
When the day begins rolling in through from the night, been awake 4 damn days, still ain't nothing right. As I look at my wife so peaceful, I know it's just a matter of time when she wakes again and I hear her lose her mind. It's hard enough having the kids taken away for the lies they spread have made it this way. I know you won't hear the truth, and that is not your fault. So I've been writing these songs to put in this vault. Every day without you is so friggin' long. Looking at the calendar, I wonder where has the time G1. All I do is bury my head in books to one day get back my kid they took. I never imagined this would be my life. We loved you so much, we never let you go. But when they came for you, I didn't know what to do. Waving from the back window is what I saw. My little girl, a caseworker, taking off. It wasn't fair, no one cared. That's what happened the day I lost. Why did this have to be us? There was nothing wrong, in God we trust. I challenge you, God, why is it me? He answers back, who would you rather it be? I don't know quite how to answer. Is it a challenge or is it an answer? Regardless of the choice, I still miss that voice that used to say, Daddy, I love you, good night. God, please do me a solid. You have all the worldly knowledge. Does she remember my name? Is she in pain? Will I ever see her again? I'm still asking the question every day, just waiting for him to shout out and say, but I don't hear a damn thing. I see an empty swing, and back in the books is where I'll be. Every day with them without you is so friggin' long. Looking at the calendar, I wonder where has the time, G1. All I do is bury my head in books to one day get back my kid they took. My kid they took. Every day without you is so freaking long. Looking at the calendar, I wonder where has the time, G1. All I do is bury my head in books to one day get back my kid they took. I never imagined this would be my life. We loved you so much, we never let you go. But when they came for you, I didn't know what to do.